If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. If you can hear me and see me, give me 2 thumbs up. If you can hear me, see me clearly, give me 3 thumbs up. Try it now. Thank you for that. I had my mic muted because it went through my other camera. All right, you guys. Thank you everybody for the confirmation that you can hear and see me. All right. I'm gonna get right into it because I'm busy getting y'all cuttings together and getting them shipped out again today. And again, I want to say I appreciate everybody for supporting me with purchasing the cuttings from Rasputia, my persimmon tree. Thank you for that. But today, I really want to talk to y'all about, thank you, happy Sunday. Hey, Bayou, how you doing, my sister? It's good to see everybody in here. Now, y'all couldn't hear me because my mic was off before, but I want to get something straight, okay? This is going to be a lighthearted video. No rah, 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 but it's going to be pretty much straight to the point. And what that, I don't know what I do with my, hold on. And what that is, you guys, is I've been told over and over and over again, but especially over the last, basically, what has this been? Oh my God. 8 years, 9 years, about leaving the country and moving to Africa. There's a lot of people that's picking up and leaving and going to Africa. And I'm not one of them. And it's, for some reason, bothers the hell out of people that I don't want to move to Africa. They get in their feelings when I say I don't want to move to Africa, right? Has anybody else heard anything like that? People moving to Africa and moving out of the country. I heard even what's his name? That basically started all this gangster stuff. George Clooney moved to France. What's the website for the cuttings? I'll put it in here afterwards, okay? But I really want to focus on this conversation. Lulu, and thank you for the support, okay? Say I'm not one of the ones moving to Africa, okay? And I got another one here, say, Living the Dream says people moving to the east, the west is falling, is what I hear. Okay. Let me see what we got here. Suzette says, I'm not leaving. Okay. All right. All right. Well, listen. How much does it cost to move you and your family and relocate literally to an entire different country? How much does it cost? I'm asking, how much do you think it costs to relocate to an entirely different country? Vaughn says, yep, they are getting citizenship there, and most are doing it because they think it's cheap living, but it's actually a bunch of problems. Okay. All right. Oh, no problem. Her rooted lifestyle. Thank you. Thank you. But I'll get to you. Okay. Thank you, my sister. Said, for NB, it's a personal choice. Do you, period. I know folks move to, yeah, and good for them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. If y'all still can't hear me, you might want to fast forward. Okay. That was in the first couple minutes we was getting our sound together. Fast forward and get to this part of the video. Let's see. Say good morning. I've been hearing people talk about moving to other places. Absolutely. All right. Somebody said it costs roughly 20,000 to move to another country, to move to Africa. Let's see. I did my homework for family and won't be guaranteed the money I make here. I did my homework for my family and won't be guaranteed the money I make here. Or I think I know what you're saying. Like you'll make less if you move to another country. Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second. Just because you make less money that's not a total bad thing, because things may cost different and the way things work in different places may hit different, So say here you make 100,000, well, down in Mexico, $100,000, you're a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So it may hit different somewhere else. So if they saying you're not guaranteed to make your wage that you make here, depending on where you go, it may be a better thing or a worse thing. Okay. Let me see. Golden Butterfly say yes, and then they be moving back. Yes, a lot of them do. A lot of them move back to the States after they've been gone for a while and get their feet wet, and they come back. Let me see. Rosette says, I know people who moved and they are moving back. There are no stable infrastructure. Okay. Living a Dream says, I think it also depends if they have family overseas also. Yes, that's true. That's true. That helps. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going anywhere. Okay. And people are going to keep asking me to go to Africa and suggesting that I go to Africa and join them in Africa like they have been for 15 years. And just because I look like this doesn't mean I'm from Africa. Let me straighten this out, because that kind of throws people off too. Just because I have this skin, people think that I'm from Africa. It's a lot of people here that need to do a little bit more reading, that a lot of us were already here on this land. I'm not saying I was or I wasn't. What I'm saying is, until I know for a fact, I'm not going to do something like that. I feel as though if I leave this country to move to another country, I let somebody run me out of my home. That's how I feel. Okay. I feel if I let them get me to a point where I'm leaving this country, I feel like I let the devil run me out of my home. That's all I'm saying. I'm not knocking Africa, because sometimes people say, "Oh, what you don't like Africa? You ain't claiming your people." That's not what I'm saying at all. And every time I try to say it, and people get it all mixed up with me, that's not it. I'm just saying everybody gets a notion and flies off with that notion, and they don't even know who they are. There is a lot of indigenous people here. Listen to me. I'm going to tell y'all something, and then we're going to get into why I did this video. Listen to me close. I know this going to hit different, and this background is really driving me crazy, but I got to keep it up now because I don't know how to get rid of it. Everybody tell me where you live. Give me your city and state right now where you live, because this is important. Please, can you help me with this? Give me your city and state. Where do you live in the United States of America? In the United States of America, I know it's a lot of people will watch me from Europe and everywhere around the country. I mean, around the world. But today, I want to hear from my Americans. What city and state are you in? Okay, I'm gonna start naming them off. Aztec, New Mexico, Fayetteville, Georgia, Detroit, Michigan, Fort Worth, Texas, Washington, D.C., Dayton, Ohio, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, St. Augustine, Florida, North Carolina, Phoenix, Arizona, Buckner, Arkansas, Atlanta, Georgia, Phoenix, Arizona, Palm Beach, Florida, Sarasota, Florida, Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I knew that. I know that already. Let me see. Durant, Oklahoma, Southern Maryland, North Carolina, Baltimore, Flovilla, Georgia. Okay, I've never heard of that one. Chicago, Illinois, Montgomery, Alabama, Memphis, Tennessee, Dothan, Alabama, I believe it is. I hope I didn't tear that up. Brain Ridge, Georgia, Cincinnati, Ohio, North Carolina. Okay, Marion, Alabama, Marion Junction, Alabama, Danbury, Connecticut, Columbia, South Carolina, Upper Marlboro, Maryland, Riverside, California, Madison, Illinois, Little Rock, Arkansas, Chicago, Illinois, Birmingham, Alabama, Dallas, Texas, Oklahoma City, Longview, Texas, Cleveland, Ohio, Desert Heaven, Texas, Honolulu, Hawaii, North Carolina, Antioch. I'm tearing that up. Tennessee, I'm sorry about that. And because I've never heard of that one. Fort Smith, Arkansas, Marion Junction, Alaska, I believe that is. Spartanburg, South Carolina, Orlando, Florida, Austin, Texas, Cecilia, Louisiana, Williamsburg, North Carolina, Los Angeles, California, New Jersey, Seattle, Washington, Harlem, New York, St. Stephen's Church, Virginia, Jacksonville, Florida, Birmingham, Alabama, Mississippi, and Paradise, California, New Jersey, Greenville, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Okay. I did that for a reason. You see, I never do that. I read all of those and I did it for a reason. And this is why I did that. Haven't you noticed something your entire life? A lot of y'all see more indigenous people in your area. A lot of people in North Carolina and Arizona, I'm just naming a few, you see groups or you see reservations of indigenous people. Am I correct? Can you go and just drive over to a reservation in about 30 minutes? Can you get to a reservation? Can anybody here get to a Native American reservation faster than you can get to a Walmart? Can you get to an indigenous reservation faster than you can get to a Walmart? I'm listening. Which is closer, Walmart or an indigenous Native American reservation? If you don't even see Native Americans, say no. Bayou Sugar says, yes, I know you can. Let me see. Right. You said yours about 6 miles away. Absolutely. And there's a bunch of no's in here. Now, some people say it's close. Walmart is closer. People is a lot of no's. And I know, and I'm kind of setting y'all up for the stab. Because this is the way that most of all of the United States of America is. And I'm going to kick you with a little facts. What they did when they came over here was an atrocity, correct? When they Peggy Moore, you want to fast forward the video. Okay, that's the first part of the video. What they did when they came over here was an atrocity. Land was stolen and a lot of people were removed from the earth, correct? Can we agree on that? A lot of land was stolen. This whole country was stolen, and people literally were deleted from this earth. A lot of people. We can agree on that. All of us can agree on that. No matter who you down with, whatever, you got to agree that land was stolen and people were deleted. Okay. Let's talk about reality for a moment. No matter how much firepower they brought. Now, let me back up. Every war in every country that we overtake on this globe, there are always still more of the indigenous people in those lands than they are the invaders. Am I right? Like we could say like Vietnam, whatever. We wherever we've been, Korea, wherever. Can we agree on that? Even to this day, when we invade another country and we set up military bases and everything else, there's still always more of the indigenous people from that land than there are the invaders. Okay. A lot of the ways that we can tell that there are more of the indigenous people from those lands is because of facial features, skin tones, dialect, and everything. Correct? Am I correct? When you go over to parts of Korea, you know they look different than a lot of us do. So you can kind of tell this person is indigenous to this lands right here. So when you see an American, especially a European American, you can definitely see they're not necessarily from here. Okay, they may be, but 9 times out of 10, they're not. Every other country, you can tell who's the visitors and who's not, all by their facial features and ethnicities, dialect, and traditional habits. Right? Okay. Why can't we see that here in America? Why can't we see the difference between the indigenous people and the originals versus the visitors or invaders? I'm going to tell you why. This America is a melting pot. Now let's get something straight. It is a melting pot. They turned it into a big gumbo. Let's get that straight. But that's not why you can't differentiate one ethnicity or original or native from another. We all think that the Native Americans only look like what they show us on TV. The long, dark, flowing hair. They have been planting it. Listen, we didn't come up with movies. They did. So they get a chance, even to this very day, they get a chance to show us whatever they want us to see. Whatever they want us to learn, they show us what they feel they want us to learn. So what we believe is that's what Native Americans and the indigenous people of the Americas look like. And that's the only thing they look like. But if you open books and read books, you start to learn they were not the only ones here. All of the indigenous people did not look like with the straight flowing hair and as a matter of fact, a lot of books you read and the people that came over here describe me. Oh, photographs, if you look in those old photographs, some of the first photographs taken on these lands, them people look like me. I didn't see the long, straight, flowing hair. Those people in those tribes was even darker than me. They have taken those Technicolor pictures and taken old black and white photos and put color to them. And no matter how much color they put to them, those people, those original, they still are even darker skinned than me. When that computer goes back and redoes that photograph, and with AI and everything else, those photographs are they still make those indigenous people darker skinned than even I am, and their hair is like mine. They're not all long, flowing with a feather in them. So what I'm trying to tell you is the reason why you don't see that many indigenous people in your area, in your city, in your state, the reason why it's faster to drive to a Walmart than it is an indigenous reservation. Everybody got that kind of wrong. I'm going to tell you how. It looks like, if you think about it, it looks like they have wiped out all of the indigenous people, don't it? It looks like you can get to a Walmart faster than you can get to see an indigenous person, one of the originals. Am I right? It just seems that way. But one thing that we're not thinking factually about and we're not thinking logically about is that's because more than 50% of people that you see are from here originally. Just because they're not on a reservation somewhere and doing tribal dances, that's how we have been brainwashed into thinking that those are the only indigenous people. What they wanted to show us, what they put in our heads from television. I'm going to tell you a reason why. Now, this is not factual. This is my opinion. So we're going down conspiracy theory alley, and I will take you with me. So this, again, is not factual. It's my opinion. There's a reason why they want to separate the two. They want you to only believe there's a handful of indigenous people here and they live on reservations and you got to drive across the country to see them or meet them, correct? They don't want the rest of the people here to feel like you're one of the indigenous, because there's I want you to think about something. And right now they're saying it in the agendas that they're saying right now. They've proven it. If everybody knew the truth that they are some of the original people of these lands, that's an outnumbering number of people. They do not want you to think that you're more powerful than they are. If you really put everybody in a nutshell that's literally really originally from the Americas, or you were brought over from the continent of Africa, no matter what, if you were brought over or if you jumped in a boat and floated over here yourself, which was part of it, we were told that we were animals. We were told, I'm talking, let's talk about Africa for a minute. Black Americans was told we was animals. We were told we were stupid. We were told that we're less than a dog. I'm just stating facts, okay? We were told that we were savages. Anything that would justify them being able to do with us as they felt, right? Okay. Over time, we've learned we created the pyramids. Our technology knew no bounds. Our technology was so great that they can't even figure out to this very day. Now let's be honest. They can't figure out how we did the things that we did. Stick with me, okay? They can't figure it out so much that they say human beings couldn't have done this. Human beings couldn't have built these pyramids. Human beings couldn't have cut these big giant 40-ton blocks this perfectly. Human beings couldn't have done any of this. Human beings had no technology. Human beings, now remember the same thing, same words they were saying. These human beings were savages. There's no way they could have figured this out. No way they could have had this technology. No way they could have had aqueducts. Nothing. No way. So it had to be aliens. They made some stuff up out of the blue because they can't understand. So since they refuse to believe people of color were that intelligent, it got to be aliens. Something that they've never seen, something that they've never proved, something that they have zero proof of out of this entire planet. Nobody is walking around with a spaceship in their basement. Nobody's walking around with any of this. So I want you to think about that. Make up a narrative, make up a story about it must be the little green man from outer space that came down here and made these pyramids because these black folks ain't this smart. To this very day in 2026, they are still studying how the hell did they cut these rocks? How on God's green earth did they move these 100-ton boulders 400 miles away from this limestone pit, right? Okay. They rather just make something up and say little green men from outer space did it. Like little green men from outer space don't got better stuff to do. If they have that kind of technology, why is they coming to Earth playing Lego blocks with stones for no reason? Okay. So the reason I'm telling you that is because of this. So if we're over there making aqueducts, fishing, farming, growing, living in peace and harmony with the most, even to this very day, with the most resources on the entire planet. I want y'all to realize how many resources is in Africa. Africa has so many natural resources that they have been trying to strip Africa of its natural resources for over 500 years. And they still barely scratched the surface with all of the resources that they've already stolen out of the continent of Africa. They still only scratched the surface. That's why every single country is trying to get their foothold in on the continent of Africa, because their resources seeming though they will never run out. That's how plentiful and rich that continent is. Okay, stick with me. So if the continent of Africa has all these resources, you don't think that they would be smart enough to know how to use these resources over all the lineage that they've been there? That's number one. Number two, do you think on God's green earth, with all of these resources and all of these knowledge and all of this knowledge, and they've been building pyramids, they've even have found things and artifacts of airplanes, designs of airplanes. Okay, this stuff you can't make up. You don't think that nobody in the continent of Africa know how to build a boat that's seaworthy? They made it sound like the whole continent of Africa could not leave the continent because we were savages. I'm not being racist or anything. I'm being realistic. They have got us thinking over all these years. None of us ever went anywhere. We had no knowledge. We're monsters. We're savages. We're jungle bound, and nobody can ever leave the continent. Right? They really made us think that. They made us think the only way that people of color got to the Americas or anywhere else around the world is they did it. It's funny how one minute they're proud of what they say they did, and in another minute they ain't. One minute they proud that they brought us over here, and then when they say how horrible they did it, oh, we didn't have nothing to do with all that. So which one is it? So I want to put this to your head. Do you truly think that people from the continent of Africa and Asia, you don't think they were here in the Americas already? And when people come together in a certain place, they get together, if you get what I'm saying, and they pop out babies. I don't know why they've made us think that we do not belong here. We were never here, and they making us think the only way we all got here was on the boats that they was driving. Come on now. Listen. Do you remember what they ships used to look like? I want you to listen to me close. And this is factual. They had ships made of wood that were seaworthy, right? They're blowing in the wind with sails. They're sail driven. There is no motors at the time. They couldn't even keep themselves alive on these ships. When you go back and look at history, all of the naval ships, they could barely keep themselves alive. Pirates, they could barely keep themselves alive, right? How are you shipping over thousands of people on these little wooden boats over the ocean? They say, oh, we had to get rid of some of them. These ships could only hold so much weight in the first place. But then they said, oh, we brought a bunch of them and us, and we fed all of us, and we fed all of them. Now let's get something else straight too now, y'all. It's not enough food on this boat for everybody. You can only go 3 days without water. You can't be drinking seawater. Now, we ain't even going to talk about food, but the human body can only go 3 days without water. You could probably make it 5. Probably. So if you're on the ocean for the next damn 90 days, where is all this fresh water coming from to literally feed the people that's chained under the bottom of the boat and feed to the people that's operating the boat? Where is all this fresh water coming from? Because a lot of people passed away back then because the simple fact of they could not have enough fresh water. Right. Poor hygiene too would take them out. Now let's talk about realization and facts. If you look around and anywhere in America to this very day, you can throw a stone and hit a person of color. You can, Anywhere in America today, you can sneeze and give another person of color a cold. That's how many people of color there is in this country. We actually outnumber others. So do you truly think we all came from on that boat? Or are a lot of us some of the originals from these lands? If you just do the math and stop with the garbage we've been taught and think critically and do the factual, and it's not even hard to define the facts. If you think critically and think obviously with common sense, even none of the stories we've been told makes no sense. Let me put another one on you. This country was built on, it's about money. It's all about money, right? This is all about money. It always has been since they got over here, and it always will be. So I want to tell you, I want you to put your business mind on. We got entrepreneurs in here right now, right? We got entrepreneurs in the house. So I want you to put your entrepreneurial business mind on for 1 second. Okay. If I had a business selling jalapeno peppers, my supplier is in Mexico. I have to go to Mexico or send from Mexico to have Mexico send me jalapeno peppers. That's costing me an overhead to have it shipped, to have it grown and produced, and then have it harvested. That's costing me money, right? To go to Mexico, to have them grow my jalapeno peppers, to harvest it for me, and to have it shipped to me. That's a lot of overhead. Am I right? Think business-wise, okay? What if I purchase 50 acres of land and I grow my own jalapeno peppers right here in my backyard? Which one would be cheaper? I could harvest a lot of it myself, and I wouldn't have to have so many people harvesting these peppers. If they're right here in my backyard, I can oversee operations, so I don't have to pay for supervisory situations. I don't have to pay for shipping. Most of that overhead, if I did it myself and got it here and it's right here, the shipping cost alone could put somebody out of business. So if I put it right here in my backyard and get the fruit right here out of my backyard, wouldn't it be less money? Wouldn't my business really grow if I could get all of my supplies, if I'm growing my own supplies myself? I'm asking right now. Absolutely. If I did it all myself and grew all my fruit and vegetables right here and not have to outsource it, of course, I would cut out the third party, right? Okay, I'm glad you with me on that. So what on God's green earth would make you think, let's sell these boats all the way across the ocean and pick up this handful of black folks from Africa and bring them all back and make them work for free? Versus, it's people already here that we can make work for free. So if I don't have to send ships back and then lose a lot of men fighting the continent of Africa to steal their people, and then sell all of that stuff back, how much money is that costing me? Versus if I make the people that's already in those lands work those fields. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any financial business sense. And that's what this country was founded on. Well, what they founded it on was business. It's about money. That's why they wanted you to work for free, because they're trying to make as much profit as they possibly can, right? Okay, I want you to put you in the mind of them so you can get this together. So what sense would it make to keep sending ships back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, when we already got our free labor right here on this land? Now, we can go and send and get some more from over there once we've turned a profit from here off of this free labor, but I'm not going to spend all of my money outsourcing work when I could get it from right here. Okay. So the reason that you don't see, or what you don't think you see, all of the indigenous people that they've made you believe that that's the only way they look, is like they've been showing us on TV for the last doggone 100 years, is because a lot of us, I'm even going to say as far as most of us, you are the indigenous people of these countries. You are the indigenous people of the Americas. It only makes scientific, logical sense. And it also makes perfect business sense, when that's what all this was about in the first place, was making as much money as you can. It only makes sense no matter how you cut it. I'm not saying that we weren't brought over here from other countries. I'm not saying that at all, because we were. But let's not get it twisted and think that none of us was already here. So the people that was on those plantations, a lot of them weren't just people from the continent of Africa. There were a lot of people that was indigenous to these lands in those fields. And in those fields, people had children. DNA chains mixed. And frankly, the coarse hair gene is dominant. I'm just spitting facts. I'm not talking about what I think I know. I'm talking about facts if you go read. And also talking about logic. It don't make any logical sense to think that all of us is from over there. Now, I'm sorry that I got off on a tangent. That would have been a good conversation for another video, but there's a reason why I wanted to bring all of that up. People keep telling me I should go back to Africa when I don't even know if I am even from Africa. Now, I know, let me hush while they kicking people doors in. I don't even know if I'm originally from Africa. Not originally from the ground up. I'm talking about, just like everybody else. You go back a handful of generations, I don't think that I was on one of them boats. From everything I've been told from my mother and my father, a lot of that, it didn't make it to the shores. A lot of the stories that I've been told about my lineage, it never made it back to the shores. Okay. Now, I had to put that out there for the people to keep telling me to come back to Africa. I hope everybody understood what I was saying. I hope I didn't fly off the handle and I didn't offend anybody. I'm just talking about things that they wrote in their books, not me. Now, while we're here and we're on this subject, I don't feel any type of way of picking up and running and leaving my country that I was born and raised in and I think I hold DNA ties to these lands, I'm not leaving. So, with that being said, if the person that answered me earlier and they said it's about $20,000 to move from America to Africa, $20,000, I got a better solution for you. Well, I have a solution for you. I'm not going to say better because to each his own. That solution is if you took that same amount of money and you purchase you a plot of land, stand your ground on your original land. Why would you take your money and invest it somewhere else that's not certain? You're going to go to another country and they have problems too. I don't know why everybody keep thinking that Africa got problems too. Everybody keep thinking that we're going to pick up and leave and go to another continent and now we in Wakanda, the fake Marvel video of Wakanda. It's not. They got political problems too. They be having dictators too. They be having wars too. And then to go through all the stuff there, the only difference is most of the people look like me, but that's it. They look like me. But you got to understand it's still not the same. Just like, for instance, you know, I'm from Toledo, Ohio. You could say Detroit, Michigan. That's that whole little Midwest chop, Chicago kind of thing, right? But when a person like me moves to the South, like to South Carolina, man, I'm in a different world now. When you move from the North and move down to the South, everybody still look like you, but it's like you're on another planet. You're in another country because the way Southern folks move and the things that, you know, the traditions and is just different. And when I moved to the South, the first place I moved was Atlanta, Georgia. And from Atlanta, Georgia, I moved to South Carolina. Oh, I'm sorry, Virginia, from Virginia to Atlanta, Georgia to South and North Carolina. I had to relearn everything. I had to literally relearn everything, even though everybody around me looks like me. I had to relearn the way I work, the jobs that I'm looking for, even what I want to go to school and learn is different because the things that I want to go to school and learn up north is different. That's what's happening up there. That's where all the money is being made in those fields. But you move to the South, everything changes. Everything is different. So where you make money and you can be more successful can be in a whole different genre. So I had to learn that. So with that saying, I'm just talking about in America. Imagine you moving to a whole different continent. Oh, I left one out. The lingo, the language. The way we talk up north is completely different than how they talk down south. You have to learn the language. There are certain things you can and you can't say in the South. And when Southerners go up north, it's certain things you can't and you bet not say up north. So you also have to learn the lingo and the language, and not just the language and the lingo, but you got to learn I wish my wife was down here because she know the word I'm looking for. Every word don't mean the same thing just because you pronounced it correctly. You know, I don't know the word for that, but you understand what I'm saying. I could move to, okay, if I move to Europe, everybody, what is a biscuit in Europe? The dialect. Thank you for that, Busy. What's a biscuit in Europe? A biscuit means something completely different. Thank you, TLC in the garden. Over in Europe, a biscuit is a cookie. So if I went to Europe and somebody said, would you like a biscuit? No, unless it got some gravy and some sausage in it. No sausage. They like, you like sausage and gravy on your biscuit? Yeah, I do. I love it. It's one of my favorite meals. You eat a biscuit as a meal? Yeah, don't you? Right? No. So when you move to an entirely different country, man, you got a lot of catching up to do, especially if you're older. So I will say this. There is an alternative over picking up and moving to another country and learning a whole entirely different life, a different lifestyle, a different way of life. If you want to leave the country, if you want to leave this society, the way this society works right now is really scary. The way we see this society and the new rules, the new laws that they're putting forward is scary. Right? Oh, thank you for that. Laura said soda in the South and right, soda in the South and in the North is pop. Here's another one that got me. A drink. If you ask me for a drink, you want a drink? Yeah, you got some Hennessy? In the North, if you ask me if I want a drink, I'm going, it's kind of early, but I ain't got to work today. Yeah, go ahead and give me 2 shots of that hen dog, and you got a cold one in there. No, in the South, a drink, you want something to drink. You want some water, some pop, some Kool-Aid. I had to learn that. Right, a cold drink? Yeah, hell yeah, give me a cold drink. Man, I've been working all day. It's different. Simple words, simple phrases, totally different. So imagine doing that in a whole nother country. You can change your society and the rules just way easier than moving to another country by just purchasing you some land. If you purchase land right here where you are in the first place, you will have an easier time purchasing land here, because this is one thing that y'all keep forgetting about America. I know it's jacked up right now. I know America, we putting people through the ringer, but I got to be honest with you. We are one of the last countries where you can actually own land. People say you never own nothing because you got to pay taxes. You got to pay taxes on everything, everywhere, anyway. No part of the world where you ain't got to pay taxes. So miss me with that garbage. That's not what we talking about here. If you want to be that technical. No. America is one of the last countries where you can actually take the money that you've earned and purchase a piece of land that belongs to you. You can't do that. I'm not naming no countries and no places, but there's a lot of countries that people is moving to. You can't own anything. You don't own nothing and you still got to pay property taxes on it. Tell me I'm wrong when I'm right. So why would I give up my right to own land and build my own society or build my own community or give my family? Guess what else you can't do? You can't pass that rented land down to nobody else in these other countries. When I'm gone, I know people say, oh, you can't own no land. Nobody owns land because you blah, blah, blah. Mug. That the only people to say that is people that don't own land because you don't know no better. I can do something, even though you're paying taxes on your apartment or you're paying taxes on your condo that you rent, your rental. We're paying the same taxes. I'm paying less taxes than you by being a landowner. And I'm going to tell you something else. When you pass away, something that we don't like talking about very often, but when you pass away, not if, when you pass away, you can't leave your apartment to your daughter. You can't leave your apartment to your children. Your children can't divide up your estate inside your apartment and make money off of it so they can rise up. They can't move into your apartment free and clear because you spent your whole life paying on your apartment or your rented condo. So we all pay taxes no matter what. But land ownership, I can leave what I have purchased to all of my family members so they can either live on it for free or they can come up, sell it, and make a nice profit to give them a head start. So people to keep saying, you don't own land, you still got to pay taxes. So do you. While you go and rent your apartment or your condo. So stop using that as it's a bad idea to be a landowner because you got to pay taxes. So do you in your rental unit. The difference is my land, even though I have to pay taxes, will always appreciate. So if I purchase some land today and it's $30,000, man, in 50 years, it'll probably be worth $1 million. It will appreciate no matter what neighborhood it's in. It will always appreciate. And with that, I can leave that to my children, my children's children, my children's children's children, and they will always have somewhere to go. They will always have a bargaining chip where they can say, well, I guess, we can't live on the land, but we hard up for money. We got to sell the land. Okay, back in the day, Papa bought the land for $5,000, but today it's worth $500,000 or $5 million. I'm pretty sure Papa wants us to have the best. We can't take care of the land anymore because we may be a little older or something, but we can definitely cash that money out and all of his lineage, his children will be well taken care of by that finance. You cannot do that with a condo. You cannot do that with a rental unit. You cannot do that with a renting apartment. Yet we're still paying the same taxes. So I wanted to make sure that people knew that there is an alternative to moving out of the country to escape the tyranny that we see. Nothing is guaranteed when you leave this country. All of the stories and the fables, nothing that you've heard is guaranteed. The only real true guarantee that you have is right here. Something you already know, somewhere you've already been, something that you don't even have to learn. That piece of land is right here under your feet. You don't got to learn another language. You don't have to learn other traditions. It's right here. And whatever you want to change on that land is up to you. You make the rules, you make the laws on your land. You don't have to leave the country to be happy. And I see people paying over hundreds and thousands of dollars to move out of the country so they can be happy. You don't have to. The same amount of money that you're spending to move out of the country to figure out somebody else's situation, you could invest that money right here in your own country and purchase you about 50 to 100 acres, and you ain't got to see or deal with nobody around you. If you got 50 acres, hell, if you got 15 to 20 acres, you can build your own little city and put the people you want in it. You don't have to deal with this society. What we need to do is wean ourselves off of this way of thinking and this society. I'm working on weaning myself off of this society in the way we've been thinking all these years, because frankly, 99% of the way we've been thinking, the things we've been taught, 99% of it are all lies and fables and myths and legends just to make somebody else either look better, look stronger, or come up better financially than the rest of it. It's all built on lies. Every single thing. It gets bad when it's all lies. Every time you go back in history and read something from history, now in 2026, you could just pull up the truth from anywhere, and the truth, everything was a lie. And we're still sitting here believing that this structure of the way society is supposed to work, we think this is how it works. Yet we all fail at it. Let's do the math. The way this society is structured and the way this system is structured, I'm going to say 80 to 90% of us fail at it. And when I say fail, I'm talking about financially, physically, spiritually, everything. Everybody, 80% to 90% of us, I'm just throwing a number out there, okay? I don't have any statistics. It just seemed this way to me. So this is my opinion. 80 to 90% of us are still struggling each and every day just trying to get by. That's a failure to me. When this country is so rich with resources and opportunities, why is 80 to 90% of us struggling so bad and have always struggled this bad? This didn't just happen over 5 years, 4 years, 10, 20, 50. No, we have all been struggling for hundreds of years trying to make a come up. Only a very few ever really get a taste of what it feels like not to have to worry about money and resources. Right? Most of us struggle every day to pay one bill, to pay another bill. Every day you going to work, draining your life force out. So if this system that they built is supposed to be for the people, why are the people struggling so bad? And why are there so many, what's that? And why are there so many people struggling? I could see if it was one old ne'er-do-well group that struggled all the time. No. 80 to 90% of Americans struggle every day and have been for hundreds of years. Nobody ever comes up. They only pick and choose who they want to come up. You're financially stable now. You. All right, the rest of y'all can go home. So if this system, if your mind is still focused on the way this system works, that is for the better of us, I want you to just think about that for a minute. Well, why are so many people struggling when there are so many resources here? There is really riches and money here. There is so much land here in the Americas. Why is everybody struggling so bad? Why are there homeless people, but there are brand new built houses everywhere? It's brand new houses and empty houses everywhere. And I'm not talking about going to squat on somebody's house. I'm talking about there are truly abandoned lands and abandoned homes that nobody will ever come back to or care about. But it's why? Why are there so many homeless people, but it's so much open land everywhere? Why is there hunger here in the United States, hunger and famine, when we waste tons of food out of each restaurant every single day? Okay. There's no reason I have a reason to. Let me throw one more at you. There's another reason why people from the continent of Africa and Asia used to come here to the Americas. I want you to think about that for a minute. The people from the continent of Africa and Asia came to the Americas to do trade and to live here for the exact same reason why the others came here. The exact same reason. Because, listen, think about this. Each one of those continents and those countries that I just talked about, they all pretty much had about the same amount of resources. So only listen, this is facts. Only power structures do business and exchange and trade with one another. Think about that. So you got the continent of Africa with the most resources on the whole entire planet. Then you have the Americas with another abundance of resources. That's why they still find pyramids and stuff here in the Amazon and everywhere else all across the country, right? Then over in Asia, same thing. They find the pyramids and stuff. So those were powerful empires. So they did trade all the time with one another, but they don't want you to think that we even knew how to build a boat. You got fishermen in Asia, fishermen in Africa, fishermen and the indigenous in the Americas, but they wanted you to believe that neither one of us knew how to build a boat that's seaworthy enough to go do trade. Yet they find all of our artifacts from one place to another. See what I'm saying? Why would I leave a place that's full of resources to move to another place full of resources? The difference is here I can obtain those resources if I play my cards right. You can't do that nowhere else. I'm not leaving. And that goes for everybody. There is too many different options that you can do to change your situation before you jump up and move to another continent. Again, family, I am not knocking anybody that wants to move to the continent of Africa. I'm not knocking anybody that even made their way back to the Americas. I'm not knocking nobody that want to move to Europe, nothing. I'm just giving you some factual insight on, man, that's not your only option. Just because your roof start leaking here in your house, you gonna move out of the damn house? Your house, listen to me. Your house is paid for. You don't owe nobody on this house. All you got to do is go up there and patch that hole in that roof. Invest a little money and then put on a whole new roof. And what do you have? Whole brand new house again. See, that's America to me. We got a hole in the roof and it's leaking bad. Every night, every time it rains, I got to come down here, put a whole bunch of buckets under here, and I got to do a whole bunch of mopping. I'm up all night because I don't want the house to flood out. That's America right now. We got a big hole in the roof. Am I going to sell my house that I paid for, earned, and it's paid off because we got one dumbass hole in the roof? No. I'm going to do everything I can to repair that hole because I know once I repair that hole, I'm going to have a brand new house again, and it's going to be worth even more money. Have you ever had your car fixed? Come with me. Have you ever had your car fixed? You had this loud squeaking noise and you wanted a new car and you like, man, I'm really thinking about getting a new car. This one make a bunch of noises and it need brakes and need tires and this and that. And then one day you spent a little money and got a paint job on that car. This car is paid off now. You put a paint job on that car. You had the inside detailed. You put some new tires on it. You had a little engine work done. Y'all know the feeling of, man, I almost messed around and bought a brand new $30,000 truck. When after I got that paint job on my old truck, got that engine work fixed, put them tires on that boy and that paint job, I'll never get rid of this truck. Have you ever felt that way? You ever had one thing fixed that drove you crazy about your car and it got fixed? You felt like you driving a brand new car. Let me tell you something. That's America. America is that raggedy right now. If the steering wheel pulled to the left, make your left arm strong as hell by the time you're done driving. The tires is bald. It cuts off sometime, and sometime to get it started, you got to twist the mirror, step on the brake, hit the right blinker, turn the radio on, then off, and then adjust the doggone rear view mirror down to the ground for some reason before you can even start the car. You got to do all this. That's America. It's jacked up. Your gas tank got a hole in it. This leak gas, so you got a 5-gallon gas can in the trunk with a straw going through it to get some fuel. You got a straight hoopty. But once you fix all those problems with that regular ass car, man, it's like you got a new car again, man. That's America. We got a bunch of raggedy people walking around controlling America right now. As soon as they get fixed, man, it's gonna be feeling like the 70s again, man. We gotta invest in what belongs to us, man. This is bought and paid for. America is bought and paid for. This belongs to us. I'm not gonna trade this in. They want you to trade your America in. And all they're gonna give you is a couple of dollars for a brand new $30,000 America. They only gonna give you $200 for your trading. I'd rather hold on to my America and fix it up. Put it in the backyard under the carport, and every blue moon go out there and tinker on my America till I get it up and running right. I'm not giving up on America, man. And again, this is nothing against any continent, the continent of Africa or anywhere else on the globe. I'm not knocking them at all. I love my folks, but at the same time, man, I belong right here. I feel that I could do way more good right here and help the people over here. My people over here need help too. So I'm here today to let you all know that you don't have to jump up and leave what belongs to you just because it got a couple bald head ass tires on it. I'm not leaving America because it's raggedy right now. Not doing that for anybody. This land belongs to me. There were squatters that came in. Now, these squatters that came in, they're claiming this house for themselves. They're claiming this land for themselves. Do you give your home over to the squatters that done changed the locks? You can't open any access doors to get in anymore and function? Do you give your land and your home over to the squatters, or do you keep fighting for your land and your home back? That's me. I'm going to keep fighting to get the squatters and put the squatters in their place. Those are squatters. This is my home. And I'm not just going to say, well, they won't let me in the door, so I guess I just go buy another house. I'm not doing that. Y'all remember the song, "This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands." Y'all know the song. I'm cool. I ain't going nowhere. And again, We just got to get the loonies out. Once we get the loonies out, man, it's going to feel like a brand new home again. Okay? This land was made for you and me. That song got some meaning to it, depending on who's singing it. But I just want to throw that out here real quick. Before you go off, getting your passport together and saving up all your money and selling off all your stuff and uprooting your family to an entirely different country or continent and lifestyle and society, you have options that you can think of before you do all of that. Before you uproot your life and your family, if you really want to stay here and the only reason you leaving is because of the heinous acts that's going on here, man, you still have an opportunity. There are things you can do before you do all that. You can invest that same amount of money, time, and energy right here, purchase you some land, and create your own. You want to know something? Just so I get you together and get your head in the game. That's what some of these other folks doing. Everything I just told you. Y'all have seen it. There is a little town where these people they bought their little city or their little township, and they are judging who's welcome and who's not. They have made their own little town, as rude as it is, and all these news reporters keep going to this little town, and they say, look, we don't want other people here. It's not illegal. And the news reporter asked him, yeah, but isn't it racist? He said, probably. And you know something? As horrible as that is, I'm kind of like, if he don't like the way this society is being run, he has his constitutional right to go and be wherever he feel like being. So even though what he's doing is disgusting and cruel, he still has the American constitutional right to go start him a little city somewhere else where he's only allowing certain people inside of his community. My thing is this. He ain't got to be the only one to do that. See, if I did it, it's going to be a problem. Right? They ain't going to be trying to just go and interview me on my land if I just bring people that look like me on it. They going to send people with firepower. Like, you can't do this. You can't. Yes, I can. They doing it. They don't want me in their community. So I started my own. If they don't want me in their community, I'm cool with that. Just leave me alone, you know? I'm cool with, hey. But I will tell you this, huh? Show is gonna be boring over there. It's gonna be boring. Oh my God. I can't imagine having no potato salad in that community. Good Lord Almighty. Can you imagine? Ooh, can't imagine the potato salad. Why they sitting there banning certain colors of people coming in today's society? Ban y'all potato salad too. Don't nobody in this society can make potato salad in this mug. That's their first law in that little community. Potato salad is outlawed. You'll choke somebody half to death with this dry ass potato salad. Don't you do it. Right. What you put cranberries? What you put cranberries in it for? Give him 10 years in the local prison. Cranberries in the damn potato salad. So, look, y'all. I'm messing around. But I'm serious. Before you go packing up and leaving this country, man, you got other options, man. You got other options. Okay? That's all I'm saying. If you don't like the way they doing stuff in this system, in this society, you can go make your own to a point where you ain't got to be part of it. And I'm gonna be honest with you. When I'm on Freedom Acres, I don't deal with none of this stuff. I don't look at the news. When I'm on Freedom Acres, I got entirely too much stuff I got going on to care about what these lunatics is doing. I don't gotta care. When I'm there on Freedom Acres, and I know everybody's land is different, but when I'm on Freedom Acres, I don't have to abide by all this crazy crap. I got my own world. I'm in my own world when I'm on Freedom Acres, on my land. When I'm on my land, y'all see me. I don't walk many a day, just walk around buck naked with footies on and Crocs. Why? Why would I do that? Because I feel like it. Because I feel like it. Oh, I got the bubble guts. I got the bubble guts and I'm outside. And guess what? Lean up against that tree and make it go smooth right down the road. Lean up against that tree, man. You ain't got time to walk 2 acres back to the cabin. Just go ahead, crank one out. Go ahead, lean up against this tree, make sure it ain't got no poison ivy on it, and crank that Soldier Boy. Let it go. You got on 2 pair of socks. Use one of them socks to clean yourself off. But who gonna know? Who gonna know? Nobody. I can do what I want. Ain't nobody calling the police on me. Every now and then a plane will fly over, and I just kind of wave at them. I could do what I want. You know, the pigs and the chickens looking at me like, yuck. Pigs and the chicken like turn their nose up like, oh, he's an animal. I could do what I want. If you own land, man, listen, I know that there's rules, laws, and regulations that we are in codes that we all must bind to, but I can guarantee you and I can promise you there's a lot of landowners out there that's in the middle of nowhere doing stuff that you just can't do in the middle of the city. If I do right here, or y'all can't see it, I got all these neighbors gonna call the police. All these neighbors. He's indecent in front of my children. Ma'am, I didn't even know your kids was out there. I had to do this. You going to jail. If you go out there and you got to pee real bad, I know this is crazy, but every time I see my dog pee, I got to pee for some reason. So when I let her out to go pee, I'm like, oh man, hurry up so I can go. I got to pee. If I do that out here in the city at this house, you're going to jail. Oh Lord, he pulled it out right in front of us, sir. On Freedom Acres, me and my dog pee at the same time. When I let her out, I let me out. We both let each other out to go pee. When I gotta pee, I tell her, come on, you gotta go. Because I can go out there and do what I want. Clean up after yourself, but you understand? I can make these roads and these trails however I want to. I can walk where I want to. I can listen to nasty, filthy rap lyrics if I can listen to Sexy Red and blast Sexy Red if I feel like it, and I'm not going to get on nobody's nerves. I can listen to my old school gangster rap. I can listen to all the NWA without turning the volume down if I feel like it, without getting on anybody's nerves. So before you pick up and say it's probably best if we move out of this country, you got other alternatives, other options that you can do before you get up and leave this beautiful nation. I mean this now. This place is still the bomb. I can prove it before I go. I can prove that America is still the bomb. Even with this man running the place into the ground, people still trying to get over here. Come on now, tell me I'm lying when I ain't. Even though this man is running this place into the ground, and even though they can't stand him, they still trying to get over in this country. There's a reason for that. This country is still great. This country is still the bomb. From every border, people trying to get in. Now, I'm not talking about to come over here and send in drugs. I'm talking about they trying to get over here and get some of this freedom. Everybody that come across that border ain't in here trying to do nothing to your daughters and ain't trying to sell no dope. They trying to get over here, man, so they can do this. Look. Without the cartel telling them what they got to do for the rest of their life or their family gonna get it. They just trying to get over here, get a little bit of this freedom, man. A lot of them is. This country's still the bomb, but it got a hole in the roof, and we got to patch it. That's it. Y'all didn't catch that, did you? This country is still good. It just got a big hole in the roof. We got to patch it. I said, we got to patch it. Apache. Who knew that was the solution? So that's all I got for y'all today, y'all. Let me get back to work so I can get y'all cuttings to you. I just wanted to tap in here because somebody just asked me, am I leaving and going to Africa again? That happens all the time. I am never leaving here unless I have no choice. If I have my way, absolutely not. I'm never leaving my home. If they want me to leave my country, they will have to evict me just because this is my house. This is my home. So you got to put me out. Right? So with that, you guys, thank you for watching. I'm sorry I was on here for so long. I just had to get my point across and throw a lot of facts out there before I could get to the solution. Okay? If you have anything to add to this, go ahead and throw it in there. And I want you to look at something real quick. Look at how happy those people are right there. See them? See them two folks? That boy grinning like he in the 7th grade, the 6th grade. Look at that beautiful queen back there. You see why we so happy? That was one of the days of greatness. We're ecstatic because we ended up owning a piece of this country. This is the piece that was I know this is going to be different for you. But see, this is why owning this land and land ownership was so special to me. Because I got back something that belonged to me in the first place. If you think about it. That's why land ownership is so special to me. This was mine. Yeah, I had to pay for it. But this land belongs to me. See, Have you ever had something stolen? Have you ever had something stolen out of your home or stolen out of your car, and then you end up seeing that same item at the pawn shop? Like, hey, that watch is mine. That's my daddy watch. You ever been there? Huh? That pawn owner don't give a damn where that watch and that ring came from. He want $300 for that ring, and he want $400 for that watch. Sometimes to get your property back that was stolen from you, you got to pay for it. It's sad and disgusting. But I promise you this, sometimes the only way to get back what belongs to you is you got to buy it. That land belongs to me. And it's a lot more of that land that belongs to me too. And I'm going to continue to acquire what belongs to me. I'm not going to just let this go down. However I got to acquire it, I'm going to acquire it. Right? That's all I wanted to say. Everybody, thank you for watching. Lead Farmer 73. I love all of y'all. And just put something on your mind. You ain't just got to jump up and leave. If you want to, great. No problem with that. But just in case you're leaving for the wrong reasons, to get away from this mayhem, you got other options. All right. With that being said, everybody enjoy your day. Lead Farmer 73. I love y'all, and I'm out. Peace.